Hello everybody and welcome back. Lars here. Today we're going to go ahead and tackle the Psychic Cup. Now we're going to lead things off with Claydol. It's going to go Mud Slap, Shadow Ball, and Scorching Sands. Make sure it has Scorching Sands in case it's been a while, since you've last used it. So double check, make sure it has that. Next up, we're going to be using Shadow Gardevoir. Not just regular, but Shadow Gardevoir. Charm, Triple Axel, as well as Shadow Ball. Please make sure it has Triple Axel. Just like Claydol, it is a new move, and if it's been a while since you've used Shadow Gardevoir, you're going to need to switch it up. And last but not least, the one Pokemon that absolutely nobody else is using, right? Gothitelle. Now, it's going to be our second Charmer. Rock Slide doesn't really need a second move, but if you want to give it a second move, go ahead, throw Psychic in there. But for the most part, it's going to sustain us with just its Charm and Rock Slide alone. And having an ABB with two Charmers, it really does a good job. It is a super simple team to really pick up, and for this cup, does a really good job. So here we go, Claydol versus Claydol, and this, what I would do here at least, throw this Shadow Ball. Probably should have thrown Scorching Sands, but we quick switch immediately into our Shadow Gardevoir just to tank it. Or we have to throw up the shield, right? So it's one shield versus one shield. They are not going to get another charge move off though. So we can just bank that energy. So there we go. Throw the Shadow Ball here. See what we do. They do shield, which is totally fine. Go ahead, as you would absolutely predict. Go ahead, bring in our little Claydol. Let Claydol do its thing. And there it is. At this point, what we're going to do is wait for the clock for just a second and let Heavy Slam hit us. We knew it was going to be a Heavy Slam just because A, people will try to fake us out a lot. B, they didn't have enough energy. So there we go. Victini, Gothitelle, it is not Shadow. It is able to take a bunch of damage, including a foul play. So just an FYI, we didn't shield Victini so that we could shield, Bronzong. And because we knew it had a charge move, pretty much ready to go. So there it is. All right, Malamar, not a good lead for us. So we're bringing in our Shadow Gardevoir, which is nice because we do have Gothitelle in the back, and a lot of people are not expecting double Charmers. So there's that. Do our thing and say goodbye to their Galarian Rapidash. Wait for just a second for our opponent. And now we're going to go ahead, we're going to throw this Triple Axel. And there it is. They do shield, which is great news for us. A couple more fast moves, and it's all over for our Gardevoir. But no problem, fear not. Claydol's coming back in to do its thing. And there it is. Now they're going to get two charge moves off back to back. You don't need to shield. You can shield one, but not the other, but you can tank one. So it's totally fine. Like I said here, go ahead, let this foul play do its thing. Does a good chunk of damage, but doesn't KO us and doesn't put us in, like a dangerous territory. So there's that. No need to shield because all we have to do now is kill this Victini. Our opponent knows it. That's it. So here we go. Alolan Raichu, this is a best case scenario for us. Great lead. It does know Grass Knot, so be aware of that because Grass Knot will do a good chunk of damage to our Claydol. And since we are running an ABB, we really want to keep Claydol alive should they have, a Metagross or any of the Galarian, Slowking or Slowbro in the back. That's just one thing you want to make sure that we save because we have two Charmers, but only one weird ball earth thing. So yeah, there it is. That's the reason. And down goes Metagross. So here we go. And at this point, we're looking really good. Go ahead, say goodbye to Claydol, and then bring in our Charmer, like so. That's that. Super easy. So here we go. Got to get our Claydol out and bring in our Gardevoir, which is fine. Now, keep note that they probably have an Aerial Ace ready to go. Go ahead, throw that Axel, that Triple Axel, right? And Victini. So at this point, you guys should really know what to do. And that is, go ahead, bring in our Claydol, let them do whatever they want to do. They're going to get two moves off. There's one. Here comes two. Don't shield either. There's no reason to. There's that. And then there goes Victini. We are switching immediately to our Charmer. And at this point, we're looking good. We don't need to shield, but we do just to be safe. There we go. They know it's over. That's that. On to the next one. Another Victini lead. They go ahead. They bring in a regular Slowbro. Not a Galarian one, but a regular one. Really rare to see regular 99% of the time you are going to see a Galarian variant. So just an FYI, they do exist. The normal one's just really rare, right? So there we go. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to throw this Shadow Ball. There it is. And Victini is down, and then here comes Bruxish. Not seeing a whole lot of the little fish. For the most part, that might pick up. Usually after the first few days, the meta settles. People change some stuff. Well, it settles, and it differs a lot from the first 2 days. So we'll see, right? Another best case scenario right here. There we go. Now we have our Rapidash, and we're going to go ahead and throw this Scorching Sands. There we go. Their attack is broken, so that means this Mega Horn isn't going to KO us. We might be squishy, but we can still tank it with their attack broken, although it's super close, right? So there it is. We still have a commanding lead. Go ahead, bring in Claydol, and let Alolan Raichu throw bake us out, right? And at this point, it's going to be another Thunder Punch. It cannot be a Grass Knot. So there we go. Victini's coming in. And at this point, throw the Scorching Sands. Since it is the only Pokemon left, they are in a lot of trouble because every time they throw a charge move, it's going to weaken their defense, which means that our Charmer can come in and just do its thing really quickly. There we go. It's over, right? So here we go. Victini lead. A lot of Victini leads, a lot of Alolan Raichu leads, and actually a lot of Galarian Slowking leads, which you'll be seeing here in a little bit. But for now, Victini, there it is. Do your thing. Let the first one go. Shield the second. There we go. And then say goodbye. And now we have that charged energy ready to go. And now it's time to cash in. Spend it. Opponent's Claydol. So we are bringing in our Gardevoir. And at this point, there's no reason to try to beat it to using a charge move. Go ahead and let him do its thing. Say goodbye to that Gardevoir. And then we're bringing in our other Charmer. So here we go. Go ahead, shield this Wild Charge, which is a rare. Normally they'll have Thunder Punch and Grass Knot. A Wild Charge is super rare to see, although I have seen it a few times, so you never know. Rock Slide, right? So they are just getting that energy, getting it. We're bringing in Claydol, and now here's what we're going to do. As soon as we bring in our little Gothitelle, go ahead, throw this Rock Slide. Even though they super resist it, their health is so low that doesn't even matter. And that's that. So here we go. Lugia. I think Lugia is in the wrong league right now. It got lost, but they are switching immediately. And we're going to go ahead and at this point, let this Grass Knot hit us. Absolutely. There we go. Hindsight, should have waited one more fast move, thrown that Shadow Ball. But, it happens. Mistakes were made, but we still, in the end, pull it off. There's a Grass Knot. They have the lead. And we're about to say goodbye to Cresselia after a few fast moves. There we go. Don't worry about them getting another Grass Knot off because they're not going to. There we go. So Lugia is in versus our Gothitelle. What they're doing is they're double charging the Sky Attack. And there is in no way they're going to let this Rock Slide rather hit them because they're going to be using a couple of Sky Attacks. Go ahead. Shield the first, let the second go. Doesn't matter. There it is. And now we're looking really good. And here's why. That energy that we had before, we're going to throw this Scorching Sands. And now they're in a lot of trouble because Claydol can 100% tank a foul play. And then we have another shield. And so that means they would have to get a total of 3 foul plays off. Even though they're super spammy, just not going to happen. So there we go. Scorching Sands sends Malamar, puts it out of its misery. Couple more boops, and Lugia joins them. All right, next one. So now we're getting to the Galarian Slowkings. Be careful, they have Surf and Shadow Ball, which is very dangerous for our Claydol, right? Go ahead, shield it. And then here comes a Rapidash. Since we are down 1 shield, we're going to force them to use a shield, but they don't. So that was really weird, but everybody's trying new stuff. And so, yeah, go ahead and let this one, just let your Gardevoir die, or at least get close to death. Because right now, like I said before, since Gardevoir is the primary Charmer, a lot of people don't expect the second Charmer, which, even seeing, Gothitelle, I've seen a lot of people flinch. and make a lot of poor decisions because people are so used to, at least nowadays, getting into a habit. It's almost robotic of, you go to PV Poke, you look at the teams, look to see what you do, you look at content creators, this and that. So when you throw in something that's a little outside of the mix, a little spicy, they're not really sure what to do, even though it has the same moves, same fast move as Gardevoir. People still flinch, and that's when they make mistakes, and you just need to capitalize on it, right? So here we go. Triple Axel, there it is. They shield, no problem. Go ahead and just do our thing. Let this one hit us. Say goodbye to our Shadow Gardevoir. Done a great job, and here comes Claydol, and Claydol is going to do its Claydol thing, which is absolutely let this surf hit us. And like I said before, super tanky. Bruxish is coming in. It's going to do its thing. No problem. Let it hit us. Gothitelle. We can tank it. And then here it comes. They cannot get another one off. There's that. And at this point, it's over. Nothing they can do. And that is that. It's a victory. So here we go. A Shadow Gardevoir. We want to go ahead, switch to our own, just because we, like I said before, we don't want to lose our Claydol, because they might have something like, any sort of metal or any of the slow Galarian, Slow King, Slowbro. But this person's actually using Chimico, so I got to hand it to him. First, last, and only one I've seen so far. And so here we go. Going to throw this Scorching Sands, try to break their attack. And now we're going to keep on keeping on. Here we go. Go ahead, and we tried, in hindsight, should have just killed him with my fast, use the shield, and bank the energy. But it is what it is. Learning experience again. There it is. They shield as well, which is totally fine. Their attack is broken. Not much they can do. But keep note, they do have a charge move ready. So Hypno is coming in, which means we're going to throw a Shadow Ball. There it is. Switch to our Charmer. Now, they do have Shadow Ball as well, but they don't have Stab. And Gothitelle is tanky, so there we go. And now, even though they have one charge move, we have 2 Pokemon left. They realize it's over, and that's that. So, Galarian Rapidash, here we go. We switched to our little girl here. And remember, a lot of people, and I don't know why it is, Galarian Rapidash, as soon as we switch to Gardevoir, they will leave in Rapidash, which is great news. Just use it as an opportunity to collect that energy, right? So in the back of your mind, just know that they have a charge move ready to go. So there it is. Claydol is coming on in versus their Shadow Gardevoir. No problem. They're going to go ahead. They're going to do their thing. What we're going to do is absolutely nothing. Go ahead, let it hit us. And now we have 2 shields and a Charmer. So life isn't very good for them right now, right? Body Slam, whatever. It was over 30 seconds ago. And that's that. End of the battle. On to the next one. So we have another Galarian Slow King. Never a good sign, right? Unless Claydol. Even though it does have a couple moves that are weak to us, it is weak to our fast move. So there we go. Throw this Scorching Sands. Try to lower its attack. And they opt not to shield. And here comes a Galarian Rapidash. No problem. We're going to go ahead. We're going to let it do its thing. And we're going to shield. Body Slam shielded. So they're going to get one last Body Slam off. Not going to kill us, though. There it is. And now all we need to do is just throw this triple Axel. Burn a shield for him. There we go. And here comes Claydol again. And they can do whatever they want to do. No problem. Here we go. There's a Grass Knot. Does a lot of damage, but doesn't kill us. Well, we get one last move in. And that's that. End of the battle. Another Galarian Slow King. Here we go. Do its thing. There's a Surf. No problem. Going to go ahead and throw the Scorching Sands. And FYI, Scorching Sands has a 30% chance to drop their attack. So, odds are it's not going to, but you might get lucky. In which case, it really does do, it helps a lot, right? So there we go. Say goodbye to our Claydol. And normally I don't like losing Claydol so early when I don't know their backfield, but I had a pretty good feeling about this one. So there we go. Our Shadow Gardevoir versus their Claydol. No problem. Go ahead, throw the triple Axel. They shield, and now we're bringing in our Charmer versus their Shadow Gardevoir. No problem. Say goodnight. And now at this point, everything's looking really, really good. We're going to shield this one for sure. Ice Beam and throw a Psychic here. There we go. They resist it, but their HP is low enough to where it doesn't even matter. And that's that. On to the next one, Alolan Raichu. Great lead. They are bringing in a Gardevoir, Shadow Gardevoir. We're going to go ahead and we're going to throw the Scorching Sands, put it out of its misery, see what they do. They opt not to shield. No problem. Here comes Alolan Raichu. That's that. They know what's up. So, Medicham, very rare to see this Pokemon. Hardly, you know, maybe 1 out of every 15 battles. So go ahead, shield the Psychic. Say goodbye to their Medicham. And now here comes first off, with Doom Desire, be careful because it is super spammy. Jirachi can get it off like crazy. But here's the thing. Jirachi is super weak to, to ground. And so Claydol going to do its thing, no problem. They are bringing in something that we don't want to see, which is Galarian Slowbro. See here? No, excuse me. That's not Galarian Slowbro. That is a shiny regular Slowbro, so excuse me. Couldn't see for a second. But anyhow, there it is. They're not going to kill us. Absolutely not going to kill us. They were trying to kill us with their fast move, but it's just not going to work out. And now it's pretty much over. Not much they can do except for watch this Scorching. Alrighty, and that is that. It is a wrap, folks. And overall, this team is super easy to use. Very, very, very likely that you will be successful using this team. And like I had mentioned before, a couple days in, the meta seems to switch. This team is switch-proof. You're going to go far using it, but for any reason, if you are struggling, my suggestion is this, and I have personally tried it, and that is you can ditch Gothitelle, ditch a little bit of the spice for a little bit of the bland, and bring in Malamar, and it works extremely well. The only problem is that with Malamar, it's super spammy because it has Psycho Cut, a very, very fast move paired with Foul Play. It means you're going to get it off like crazy. Problem is that there are plenty of scenarios in which, you throw 2 Foul Plays, your opponent has a little bit of health left, and you just cannot kill it with your fast move. It does about as much damage as, Nidoqueen does to Bastion with its fast move, which is negligible. So be aware of that if you do choose to go that route. But either way, both teams work really well. Been very happy, and I hope you will be happy with it too. And if you are happy, please make sure to like and subscribe. Slowly, we're growing, and I have a contest coming up. Found out it's the best way to do it is through Discord. And so, I am going to be making, my wife is going to be making an actual Discord channel. We're going to do the contest. I bought, we have the new Pokeball Plus, some t-shirts from GoFest. They are the official GoFest color, meaning you could only get that color if you went to GoFest, which I did. A lot of merchandise, a lot of little plushies, a bunch of other fun stuff. So, go ahead, stay tuned, and have a great day. And, I'll see you later.